Hey guys, I just want to go over a new economic concept that we're going to be talking about in class, known as mercantilism. Okay, basically, what I want you to associate mercantilism with, when I say that word, I want you to think trade. Okay, trading things between countries. Okay, now, in this example, you see my little diagram here. I'm going to focus on three parts of the world that were involved with this mercantilism or this trade. Okay. You're going to see over here in green, Europe. You're going to see in red right here, Africa. And then in the blue, you're going to call it the 13 colonies. You guys know it as the United States where you guys live. But we're talking about the 13 colonies. Okay. Guys, basically what this is a giant trading triangle. Okay. What I mean by that is over here in Europe, okay, that's where the countries that have been on their own for a while, they're kind of established. They have factories. They have a really good economy. They're well off and on their feet. Okay. They know what they're supposed to do in order to survive in life. Okay. So let's use England as an example. England has colonies over here in Africa that they own. England also has colonies over here in the United States that they own. So mercantilism means that you're allowed to trade with your mother country and other countries that they own. What I mean by that is the United States back then, or the 13 colonies, were only allowed to trade with England because they are owned by England, and the United States could only trade with countries in Africa that were owned by England. Again, I know that those sound all the same and they're kind of backwards and stuff, but make sure that you rewatch this video, rewind it if you have to in order to understand that. I'll repeat myself. Mercantilism means that you are only allowed to trade with other countries that are owned by the same mother country as you. Okay, so US could only trade with African countries that were also owned by England because that's who we're owned by. Okay, so here's what kind of the trade looks like, guys. The United States, for example, we have a ton of raw material that you find in everyday objects that you use. Okay, we'll use guns as an example. Okay, the United States trades raw materials over here to Europe. Okay, and they also trade materials to Africa countries that are owned by England. Okay, they give them raw materials to Europe. Okay, Europe puts them through their factories. They create all of those finished goods like weapons and stuff. And what does Europe do? They trade those finished goods back to the US. They trade those goods back to those African countries that they owned. Okay, because Africa and the US, they're young countries. They're not even their own countries. They are colonies. Okay, colonies that are owned by England. So England is going to send them finished goods after they put their touch on it and they put it through the industry and the factories. Okay. Now, when it comes to what's going on or what Europe gets in return or what England gets in return, they get slaves from Africa, okay? And just like I said, they get raw materials from the US. Now, they don't always have to go through England. The colonies in Africa can trade with each other too. So the colonies would give raw materials to Africa, okay? And what Africa would do in return is they would give slaves back to the US. And that's how we know that concept of slavery. That's how slavery started in the US. It's because of this mercantilism and this triangle of trade that I'm showing you. Okay, guys, I hope that this makes sense. Again, this is something that's not going to go away in my class. It's a concept that I'm introducing now, but it's something we're going to talk about all year until you leave me in May. So please make sure that you know what this means and how this works. Okay, rewind this video, keep rewatching it. If you have to, please make sure you understand this, guys. Okay, thanks.